My biggest worry was we were going to start doing daft because of who we were playing and we didn't.
That's
it
why,
was minimal.
Literally, that's why I'm like...
Yeah, it was minimal we did. I thought we were good.
Do you know what? Considering it's a bit of different people in different positions, like it honestly...
It were good.
It's a good tone to set.
No, I'm good.
My condition is functional neurological disorder, which basically means there's an issue between the signals that my brain sends to my body. It impacts my mobility, sometimes it impacts my reasoning and logic, my speech, and on any given day I can either be walking with my crutch or using my wheelchair. The club I first started playing wheelchair sport with was Wolverhampton Rhinos, and I started there when I was around 11 years old. My friend, who I'd been friends with in primary school, she had cerebral palsy and convinced me to go along. So I started wheelchair basketball and I absolutely loved it until the shooting side of things then led to me developing frozen shoulders and leading to treatment, and it turned out probably not my best idea to continue that sport. But the guy who ran the charity there suggested that we'd give Wheelchair Rugby League a go. I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Refused to take part after the first training session because I couldn't quite understand how I was expected to catch a ball and push and tag up and take hits. I mean, I was 15 at the time, and they're grown men, you know, twice my size, twice my age, if not more, just full on taking me out. My granddad very much convinced me that I can't give up on things. So yeah, after a little bit of a break, I was contacted by somebody up in Leeds who asked if I wanted to give it another shot. And I do remember that first game going, actually, at some point I'm going to have to suck it up and put shots on people and, you know, make those hits, make those tackles. From there until now, a lot of how I portray myself on the pitch is from that first game. Sometimes you get comments from opponents, and it did play an impact in the beginning. It doesn't really bother me these days. It's taken a long time for me to accept that just because I'm female, it doesn't mean I can't hit as hard, I can't push as hard, and I can't go out there and create my own legacy. I would love it if there were more female competitors within the league, within the sport. And I know we're getting there, we're starting at a development level, but hopefully that then filters through to the Super League and to international, and it carries on from there.
The best players are the players who can really defend. Jodie's leads in that, always defending, and she smashes people out of chairs. But Jodie is probably the next person behind me when I was a player who can bring a really level head to the game. She's the player who can be like, right, we need to do this now, this is what we're doing. We need to stay on the level, we need to be chasing these kicks. She'll bring such a level head to it as well, and she always leads by example.
Lazy defender, Josh! Good job, Josh.
Right, can everyone listen up for a bit? Jamie's very graciously giving up his time to come and present the shirts for us for this season. So we are going to start with the first shirt. This is the tricky thing about being the coach this year, is I had to pick someone to lead the team. And I'm really emotional about this, mate. I love it. But this team is absolutely filled with leaders. You know, on and off the pitch, we've got people who've led teams in grand finals, we've got people who've led teams off the pitch. This year, the captain of the team will go to a player who has played in 3 World Cups, is respected by the whole team, has accomplished a lot on and off the field, and she is the only player in the team. So, the only female player. The first player.
When I really thought about it, I had a few names. A lot of people assumed it would go to Tom being the England captain, but what Tom does in England isn't the same as what we do at Leeds. And Jodie's a very senior player, very level-headed, who isn't afraid to tell people what they need to hear. And when it comes from her, they know it's coming for a reason. She's not just calling someone out, she's saying it for a reason. And the players will respect what she says. They'll be like, okay, yeah, got it. And sometimes some of the younger players can get the hump a little bit in games, and Georgie doesn't do that. And I wanted Georgie to have that level head and that voice that could cut through anything, to be like, listen, this is what's happening. Simo has said this is what we need to do. I have a team of leaders, but Geordie's the one who can cut through it all and say, this is what we need to do, guys. Let's keep going for it. And she's the one who will back it up with defence.
I might be lying if I said I wasn't pissed off.
You've earned it, mate.
Everyone sort of thought, oh, just Tom's England captain, so he'll get the Leeds captain as well. I did want that. I wanted the captaincy. I've had captain for my country. I wanted to be captain of my city, of the team I grew up supporting. So I pretty much started off playing like a normal kid, playing rugby league. Then one day I played against Thomas Warriors. I went to go make a catch. As soon as I looked up, Mikolaj Ledski was just stood right in front of me. Got absolutely creamed, smashed, and broke my foot from that collision. And I had the physio carry me off the pitch, which wasn't a good picture. Wheelchair bound for about 12 weeks. Went down for a training session, and ever since then, sort of haven't looked back. The only players I knew was Josh Butler, who was my cousin, so I kind of knew him already. Probably Josh was the one that sort of got me there and got me in the chair, so he'll have to take credit for that. And then Nathan Collins, I went to primary school with him, and he was probably about, I think, 2 years younger than me.
How great are you?
Actually, still same size he is now, to be honest. He's always just been there, so he worked my amateur club, and then I moved to Hutton, and then weirdly enough, he moved to Hutton. We both ended up at Leeds Rhinos wheelchair team together, and then both ended up at England together.
What have you been eating?
I think it was fajitas.
Fajitas?
Fajitas, sorry.
I just think he follows me, to be honest.
Us two being, best mates, it helps on the pitch. We know where each other are going to be. We know what kind of the style of play each other wants to do, and I think that just helps loads.
People have the perception of wheelchair sports being slow and boring to watch, whereas wheelchair rugby league is the complete opposite. It's the most aggressive, most violent, skillful, fast. For me, it's the best sport in the world.
He's a bit of a showman, he's Tom, and he loves the attention. He started playing this game after he's broke his leg playing as a teenager, and now he not only does he play for Leeds Rhinos, play for England, captains England.
Tom's an amazing conductor. What he does do is absolutely nail the game plan, and whatever it is that we've agreed upon as a team, he'll be the one that keeps everybody stuck to that thread.
Rob, see you go, hit that line. You're still back here. Okay. Twice you did it, and twice you were back there. Hit it, yeah? Please. All right.
His approach to really high pressure moments, and you saw it in the 77th minute of the World Cup final. He just stepped up and did what needed to be done.
It just sort of happened.
Ball in one arm, he's tackled. Plays it now to Halliwell. Halliwell ducks under! Tom Halliwell! The England captain!
Could have been anyone that scored that. I happened to be the person to do it.
With 3 minutes remaining!
In wheelchair rugby league, it has to be England-France. You know that's going to be the final. And that game was won in the 77th minute by 4 points.
World Cup champions, they've beaten France by 28 points to 24.
The World Cup was absolutely groundbreaking for us. All the games on TV, huge crowd. We had 3 record-breaking crowds during that World Cup, starting at 3,000 all the way up to 4,500. It just shows this game that we went from playing in these tiny little dingy sports halls with your mum and your dad and your dog watching to now getting huge crowds. Players have become household names after the World Cup.
We got invited to go to Sports Personality of the Year, different management events, different sports events and sports awards nights. And before, just obviously people in rugby league know who you are just from playing for England and playing for Leeds. But now I think sort of a more broad audience know who I am now, especially with the new title that I've been given.
I'm the reason that he's in the sport, so the reason that he's England captain, OBE, everything, he still has to thank me for that one.
As soon as you're involved in the sport, you see how good it is and you see how big it can be, and that's what I'm forever going to push. I'm going to push for this sport until it's a mainstream sport that everyone knows and everyone loves, which is getting there, but it's going to take some time, and I'll be working hard to be able to do that.
Nice mate, Robert. Nice line, Mo. Nice line. Well done, Judd. Yeah, on thingy. When we're passing off on D, I don't care, don't be reaching, I just want you to get chair in front. Don't matter if they turn, doing or get the offload away, we'll be there in support to be able to get that.
The partnership between myself and Halliwell, as leaders, both on and off the pitch, is working really well.
I just shouted your name and I just knew what you were doing.
Sometimes, as everybody does, I go through periods of self-doubt. It could be a game that I feel like I didn't get involved in enough. But to hear the reasons why they had decided to ask me to be captain, it reaffirmed, everything I know about myself as a player, but also has pushed me a little bit into leadership.
Jodie's a phenomenal player, a phenomenal leader, and she's a great person as well, and she's someone that the whole team looks up to. So it was sort of get my ego back in check and sort of work for the team and work for Jodie and really help her out with what she needs.
From about 5, I knew that I was very different. I was always playing with stereotypical boys' toys. I never wanted to go out and play with the girls. I never wanted to be involved in girls' sport. It was really hard. I felt really ashamed because I didn't know how to talk about having these feelings. And back in the early 90s, there was no conversations around being transgender either. So I knew that I was masculine. I knew that I was attracted to masculinity, but I didn't know how to put that into words. My parents were really accepting. My mum was brilliant, my dad was brilliant, and my grandmas have always stood by me. I said to my grandma, you do know that I'm not a girl, I never have been. And she just said, look, do I call you Fred now then or what? And I'd waited 26 years to have this argument with this woman, and she took it all away from me, and since then they've been brilliant. When I was 11, I started playing rugby. Then when I got to 14, I got asked if I wanted to go try rugby union for Hull Ladies. And then from there I played both codes for a while. I got to play all over. I played for Glossop, I played for Bridlington, Leodensians. I was playing a team over in East Yorkshire, and we'd gone onto the pitch and everyone was shouting, get the man off the pitch. He's huge. And the referee stopped the game and he pulled everybody off the pitch apart from me. The referee was asking whether I was male or female, but there wasn't actually asking me, there was asking all the other players and the coaches on the sideline. They then decided that I could carry on playing after they'd spoken to my coach. And this one player just took umbrage and came running at me constantly. So when we was near the line, I picked the ball up and went to carry on going. I handed her off. Her lip split just slightly down at the bottom, and which then split open. We went to the ground, ball was in the middle. She refused to release the ball. I shouted to the ref that she wasn't releasing and to my captain. And as I opened my mouth, she made this noise in the back of her throat and just spat into my mouth with blood and everything. So I then unfortunately had to go have tests and go to the hospital. Put a complaint in. The police wouldn't do anything at the time. They left it to go statute barred because they didn't know what to do in this instance. I was outed to the newspapers. I had journalists in my garden letting my dogs out to make sure I'd come out of the house. I constantly get put in the paper as a dangerous trans woman and the reason why trans people shouldn't play sport. I've been removed off the pitch in front of all the spectators. I got told that I was a danger to women. But what a lot of people don't actually know is because I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, I'd already gone through the menopause at 19, I'd had a hysterectomy at 22, nothing to do with gender. So I'd been on and off hormones for a lot of years to protect my body and to protect my health. And that wasn't a problem because I wasn't trans. But as soon as I was trans, the same medication that I'd been taking in a different format then becomes an issue. Sports needs to stand up for its players, and unfortunately that wasn't the case, but I still carried on playing because I just wanted to play. I didn't care if I was on a men's team or if I was on a women's team. I just wanted to play my sport. But being outed in the national press and the newspapers, the Sun put something along the lines of trans woman tries to infiltrate women's rugby team. Well, I was trying to get out the women's rugby team because I wanted to play on the men's team. Being told that I should be hanged for being trans and working for kids on social media. I'd had so many sleepless nights and tears and crying because of what had gone on. I just wanted to be me, but my sport wouldn't allow me to be me. And then about 5 years ago, I was on loan and I went to play a game and just out of the blue took a tackle at the back of a ruck, and unfortunately my spinal cord was crushed. I've got no sensation down my left leg and my left foot. I lost a lot of friends when I came out as trans, and now I've lost a lot of friends because I've come out with a disability. I went into a very dark place. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do anything. And I was just left on my own. And I just came across, I think it was a video of Simo playing and his story. And I started Googling to have a look where there was something that I could get involved in. And I found Leeds Rhinos. Having a family again and having a team again and having that camaraderie just means the world. It gives you something back that you've lost. And for me, being able to be trans, gay and have a disability but still play rugby is something that I never thought would be capable in this lifetime. Wheelchair rugby is the one sport where you can be yourself no matter what, whether you're able-bodied, disability, gender, sexuality, race, religion. It's a sport there for everybody.
He's still a relatively new player on field-wise, but he loves it and he's part of the team, and having played rugby union and played rugby league, he knows rugby inside and out. Once you've told him things a few times, they've seen it a few times, he will get it. It's just now getting him to the state where he can play big minutes. But no, Vez is an intricate member of the team, and you know, like he has opened my eyes as well in a lot of things. You know, that athletes have to go through, trans athletes have to go through, and it's kind of opened me up to a new way of seeing things, and that's what I love about this game as well. You meet people who've all gone on different journeys, and Vez is one of those people.
We were in the middle of a set of 6, and Wes was defending next to me, and Ewan were defending next to Vez. And then Ewan went, right, come on boys, let's dig in deep and let's work for each other and get this set done. And Vez pulled everyone aside and went, right, that's the first time I've ever been called like one of the boys and been found it and felt comfortable. That for me really hit home, like how big of a family this is that we've got at Leeds Rhinos Wheelchair Rugby League, and just a little moment like that can have such a big impact on someone personally. And we're all Rhinos family that we're all part of. It means a lot. It's what we have as a team. You back each other to the end, and yeah, I'll back Vez 100%.